干为什么会有一只猪？干不是猪，是妖怪啊！你现在才发现，它也真的是挺不妙的。好了，接下来既然每日都解完了，就剩这个。我现在也不知道去哪里找传奇，觉得太麻烦了。该来去主线任务啦，听取兄弟会的讯息。然后呢？前往阿特拉斯堡。哇，有一个人在杀人，好恐怖哦！建立信任，和归来的兄弟会成员见面。任务完成，欢迎光临近邻。嗨。
Any news to share? Hey, good to see you again. Welcome to Fort Atlas.
阿特拉斯堡。
Yep, the Brotherhood renamed it when they turned it into their new headquarters here.
多西，看来你的计划成功啦。
I caught a little flack for using the logo when they arrived, but they were pretty impressed. So much work was already done. The Paladin asked me on the spot if I wanted to make it official as an initiate. I'm not too proud to say I got so excited I barely could say yes. They sure did. Trailing a bunch of recruits and new initiates they'd picked up along the way. Quite the sight to see, no lie. I was really glad I had something to show them when they got here.
我知道，因为那些物资还是我捐给你的。
Of course. What you want to know? I wasn't sure what to expect, really. I built up a picture of them, reading the old logs from Taggarty's group. This bunch, well, they just marched across the continent, and you can sense the strain. But the resolve in them is like nothing I've ever seen. Paladin Romani, their leader, she's really something. Makes you feel like you're part of a brighter future when she talks to you. Oh, it's an honor. I know that sounds like some recruiting poster nonsense, but really, it is. I finally feel like I'm part of something meaningful. Building a better world alongside other people who've committed their lives to that cause. Sure, sometimes it means doing guard shifts in the rain, but hey, small price to pay for real purpose, right? Well, aside from the initiates and hopefuls they recruited along the way, just 3. I was expecting more, honestly, but Paladin Romani said 3 was plenty to start a new chapter. With the recruits they have already, she's right. What do you need? Looking to sign up? Or just curious? Well, either way, I guess it's not me you want to talk to. Most of the fort's off limits to civilians, but if you're interested, Knight Shin's in charge of the new recruits. He's very serious about protocol and security, so you'll have to speak to him first if you want to get anywhere.
Oh, alright.
I used to work with the folks at Foundation. Hard workers, but I wanted something more than just settling.
要不然要怎样才足够？为什么你的帐篷里面会漏水啊？太奇怪了吧！就跟我家一样。最后细节。拜托，我曾经那么喜欢来这边打机器人，现在他妈的被你占走了我。
I'm thinking about joining up, getting in on the ground floor. How about you?
我其实没有什么兴趣。进入单人任务，对啊，阿特拉斯观测站曾经那么的棒，现在妈被人家改建成这样，我他妈少一堆机械人给我打，我觉得很没送。听说这主线很短。
The outer perimeter is still insecure, the provisions aren't properly stowed, and we're awash in hopefuls. I have no time to be babysitting civilians.
Your duties are what I say they are, Knight. Your objections are noted, but this is a direct order from your commanding officer. Help us put on a good face for the local people. We've just moved into their backyard. They're nervous. Show them we mean no harm.
If you insist, Paladin. If there's nothing further, I'll have the completed report on your desk shortly.
I expect nothing less from you. As you were, Shin.
Paladin. I am not a receptionist. I have actual work to do.
Wow, 为什么你要倒退走路啊？
You should get that mutation treated, civilian, before it becomes a real problem.
我他妈突变超猛，比你还猛。
We're here to protect the people. You'll learn that in time.
你是你空
You're
三
here
小。
with a request for the Brotherhood. Get in line. I don't have time for you right now. That was a Brotherhood matter, civilian, and none of your concern. You're trying my patience, so get on with it. Knight Daniel Shin, Brotherhood of Steel, 1st Expeditionary Force. We've got important work to do here, so get to the point. Diddy. Initiate Dorsey is supposed to be manning his post at the entrance, not acting as my secretary. I am not known by my initiates for tolerating foolishness, outsider. Persist in that tone, and you will learn how much less I tolerate it from civilians. The specifics of our mission are not for discussion with civilians. We're here under orders from Elder Maxon. Stay out of our way, and we won't have any problems. Initiate Dorsey is too trusting, but I can't fault his commitment. Perhaps he sees something in you worth our interest. Are you another aspirant to our order? Insults are for children. Grow up, move along, but stop wasting my time. If we accept you as an initiate, and that is far from certain, you would be pledging yourself to our order and our cause. Our order exists to locate, secure, and protect dangerous technologies. Humanity cannot be trusted with the means to destroy itself. We will not allow another apocalypse. This isn't a casual decision, civilian. Becoming one of us is committing yourself and your life to a cause. Be certain. Otherwise, you're wasting both your time and mine.
加入高快的兄弟会是我的荣幸，再没有比这更大的荣耀了。
If you mean that, then you are right. But if that's sarcasm, I recommend you stow it. Immediately. Normally, I might stick you with the other hopefuls until we decide whether you're worthy. But, if you're serious about joining us, you've got good timing. There's something you could do for me that would help the Order and demonstrate your qualities as a candidate. We've had a number of civilians show up here at Fort Atlas, asking for one thing or another from the Brotherhood. People are afraid, or want something, or looking to involve us in local squabbles. Civilian outreach is not my specialty. There's too much left to do to secure this facility. If you're really interested in helping, save my time. Interview the petitioners, find out what they want, and report back to me.
我有什么好处？
To be in the Brotherhood is an honor, and a life of service. If that's truly something you want, start here. Perform this duty well, and we can talk about your future.
干，我想要做圣骑士啊！
No. The chain that binds dictates a strict hierarchy of command. And, as the only knight present, the initiates are directly under me. Unless I say so, your contact with the Brotherhood stops here. My patience. If we accept you as an initiate, and that is our order exists to locate, secure,
干，你已经
we
重
will
复
not.
了。
Don't just think. Make a decision. Talk to the petitioners. Find out what is that clear.
看来我们也只能
That's
做
right.
了。
Don't make me regret giving you the opportunity. Conduct yourself properly, and we can consider putting you forward as an initiate candidate.
储备新兵。
Do not attempt to access the secure parts of this facility, civilian. We are watching you.
干！你们把我的狩猎场给抢走了，然后还在那边跟我讲屁话。妈的嘞！你他妈是不是欠揍啊？你很屌，很屌，你有多屌？干，打不到你，
This
你
is
的
a
确很
security
屌。
office, not a social club. You're not finished. Get back to work.
哎、你有什么困扰啊？
You better have something useful to say to me. I just told you who I am. I already told them that when I got here. Nobody's listening in this place.
没错，你
I
就是
came here
nobody。
so that they can make things right, and they won't even listen to me. What? Oh, hey, sorry about that. You're right. Ain't right me blowing up on you like that. I'm just really wound up, and none of these Brotherhood types are giving me the time of day.
因为他们都很屌啊。
Oh, can't even come to me himself? What, he needs to requisition some more armor polish? All right. Keep it cool, Sean. So, what's he got to say to me?
干，你都这样自言自语的吗？可以跟我多聊聊你自己吗？
I'm a scavenger mainly. Always been pretty good with a set of tools, so I do all right for myself, scrapping and fixing
哦，
things.
看来是拾
I
荒
trade
大
what I
师。
find or fix with the folks at Foundation when I need something I can't get otherwise. Mostly, I like to be left alone. The problem is that a couple of these Brotherhood clowns showed up and took a bunch of my stuff at gunpoint. Now, I'm a peaceful man. I really am. I sure wasn't equipped to deal with armed thugs requisitioning the little I've managed to put together for myself. Never understood the Raiders. I like the quiet life. I don't need much, and I need trouble less. But after this, I get it. I came here to give the Brotherhood a chance to make things right. Else maybe I go to Crater and start doing things their way.
快去加入大坑洞
Pretend，to be the good guys.
这是你最后的机会。
All right. What else did you want?
好像也没有什么好问的哈。你真的会因为这件事情改当掠夺者吗？
Don't blow me off like I'm making this up. These people have a responsibility to fix this. They had the power armor, and they said they were Brotherhood. Sorry I didn't make sure to ask proof when they had me at gunpoint. Listen, I don't have much, but what's mine is mine, and these people took that from me. The Brotherhood pretends like they're noble, but then they let this happen? In their name? Raiders don't act like something they're not, and at least the gangs defend their own. Then tell them.
好哦，好哦，跟请愿者交谈一。
Stay on your toes. The wasteland is merciless.
像现在阿特拉斯堡都不能随便走了，以前都可以随便走。
Military-grade hardware, more common amongst the ones from California.
哎呦，这个医生
Yes. Something I can help you with? I am waiting to speak with a Brotherhood representative. I have no interest in small talk with strangers. Pardon my manners. I am out of practice. Too much time alone. Still, unless this is important, I would prefer to be left alone. Perhaps I spoke too hastily. I can be rather unthinkingly brusque. Dr. Edgar Blackburn, at your service. Are you working with this Knight Shin? What has he said to you?
他叫我把你们赶走。
I am sure you have more interesting things to do than listen to a poorly
社交
socialized
障碍。
doctor talk about himself. In short, I trained in multiple specialties before the war, and had a brief career as a research scientist prior to the bombs dropping. Finding myself fortunate enough to survive, I have continued my research, such as it is. Now I focus on the health of the people of Appalachia. Please do not ask me to examine any strange growths. I am not that kind of doctor.
那你就叫做布莱克本医师啊！你又说你不是医生，干。
I had heard that the Brotherhood possessed advanced technology. As a doctor and a scientist, this was of great interest. My research is always in need of equipment and materials rather difficult to obtain by scavenging and bartering. I came to see if an arrangement could be made, but from what I can see of their operations, they are as yet still in too much disarray. Given the state of my fellow supplicants, I would hypothesize that their needs likely outweigh my own.
哦，所以你是之后会变成医疗人员的人。
Very well. What did you wish to know? It would be difficult to express it in layman's terms. No offense intended. In essence, I have been studying the illnesses of Appalachia. For too long, people have relied on folk remedies and makeshift medicines. The long-term effects of this environment are concerning. Just because the radiation is survivable does not mean it is safe.
你后面有一个一直在偷看我们嘞。
Their hygiene standards are better than a lot at Crater, but no. I prefer to work in solitude. One day, perhaps, my research will be of benefit to them and all the other people of Appalachia.
Appalachia.
Very well, then. Perhaps we can be of assistance to one another, should our paths cross again.
Yeah.
Did you wish to speak with me?
No.
I should be getting back to work, so get at it if you got it. Well, now,
Hi, 普拿腾。
you with these Steel brother fellas? I've been waiting a good spell to talk to them. Farming such as it is, got a patch ain't barely more than scald. But it's mine, and I manage. Longer than I prefer. These Steel types ain't half disorganized right now, it looks like. Heard the news about these fellas and reckon I'd better go see 'em. Ain't the only one neither, I see. Well, it's about time. I'd like to die of old age waiting on him. Name's Art Knapp. So, what's this Knight fella sent you for?
要我把你赶回去。
Ain't much to tell. Been a farmer one way or another, all my life. My daddy before me, and so on. Set up in these parts after I heard it was safe again. Turned out, there's plenty of raiders fixing to take what ain't nailed down. Ain't much use bellyaching about it, but neither am I just gonna roll over and let some bullies take what's mine. Got seed in the ground right now. I ain't yet seen a raider willing to scrabble in the soil for seeds, so I reckon it'll get by till I'm back. A fair trade's what I want. I've heard stories about these steel types back in the day. They was going around taking things from folks. For the cause, they said. Yeah, like that don't make them raiders too. Well, I ain't got much. I already got to worry about raiders. So, I reckon it's better to make a deal up front. My farm don't produce much, but I got some extra. And I expect they'll have a use for it. In return, I want these steel boys and girls to keep raiders away from my farm. Heard a lot of noise they was on our side. So, seems fair. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Shoot. Before they bombed the daylights out of everything, folks used to pay taxes in exchange for the government doing what it was supposed to do. Raiders will just take everything. This is a trade. Fair is fair, and a deal's a deal. I ain't care for people poking their noses into my business, but if a bushel or two to these Brotherhood keeps the raiders away, I can live with it.
简单来讲，这个是农作物大城，没有休闲队伍了，随便找个队伍加吧。又是一个斗退路的人，很厉害哦。这世界到处都有人斗退路。最后一个人了，嗨，偷看仔。
Hey, yeah, you. Who do I need to talk to around here? You know, about the guns? You don't look like one of these Brotherhood yahoos. Name's Tally Lane. What's your deal? I just told you, dummy. Tally Lane. Just another chick trying to make.
所以你是军械库大臣。
You know? Who, me? Nah. Cool as a cryo grenade, me. Definitely. Shin? He the scary guy with the stick up his butt? Alright, shoot. Oh, I'm just a poor country girl, you know? Parents died ages ago, so it's just me and a few friends trying to make our way in the world. It's pretty scary out there. Just a bunch of orphans helping each other out. We're practically just kids. Had to grow up on our own. We'd sure feel a lot safer with some of those high-tech guns.
我原来你是想当战士啊！我还以为你是会改枪什么之类的。
What? Me? A raider? No. A little old me? Don't be silly. Yeah, that's right. Big shiny guns. Now, all the talk in the area is about these Brotherhood folks with their high-tech toys, and I thought, Tally, you gotta get some of that. For self-defense, of course. Just so me and some of my poor, innocent friends can protect ourselves from all the nasty folks out there.
你他妈太可疑了吧
Why not? Hit me. Hey, you calling me a liar? My friends and I just need them for self-defense. We'll pay good caps. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. 啊，怎么那么快？有人想抢哦。就送他好了。我现在想先解主线，没空理他。
The only reason you should be back here is if you're ready to give your report. Have you finished the task I gave you?
因为他会打光在他脸上哎。
Complete your duty. Good. Let's get this done. I have the list from their arrival. Give me the high-level overview.
有差吗？你连跟这些人说话都懒。
I am second in command of this entire operation. That I have other things requiring my attention does not mean a task is not required. Paladin Romani wants these people to be heard, and you agreed that you would assist me in this. Do not make me regret the trust I've shown. The Brotherhood is not a charity, and our mission does not cover providing civilians with equipment to pursue their personal interests.
那你为什么不找他加入
The
你们？
Doctor intends to provide that research to the Brotherhood exclusively, and under our supervision, he will get nothing.
如果帮他，可能对大家做好事。
Our job is to procure and protect technology, not fund civilian scientists in developing it. If the Doctor's research proves dangerous, then the Brotherhood will take a very pointed interest. Until then, it is his problem. Next report. We are not mercenaries here to serve as guards for anyone with some goods to trade in payment. That's irrelevant. The Brotherhood cannot simply be hired out to every farmer and homesteader.
但你们食物
We
短
have
缺
our
不是
own
吗？
concerns. Enough about that. What's next? No, we are not arms dealers.
We're building something big here. Don't get left behind.
There was never any circumstance in which I would authorize weapons to that woman. But your vigilance is noted. Moving on. Impossible. Whatever happened, it was not us. There are countless brigands out there, civilian. It is not the job of the Brotherhood to hunt them down one by one for their crimes. I will say it bothers me to hear that someone is abusing the honor of the Brotherhood this way. But that does not change the facts. Mr. Hockman's problems are his own, not ours.
干太烂了吧！
That's everything. Against my initial judgment, you have shown that you can take orders and make yourself useful for the Brotherhood. You need to lose those soft civilian instincts, but I will make note of your assistance in my report to Paladin Romani. Should you wish to join our ranks, I will not oppose your enlistment and grant you permission, provisionally, to enter the compound proper. Go to our scribe Valdez. You will need her support as well if you want Paladin Romani's attention. What I am going to do is make the recommendations I see fit in my report to Paladin Romani. As the commanding officer, the final decisions will be hers. And your concern in the matter ends here.
不，我觉得最后这些事都会是我来做，干。
Let me complete my report. If I do... Orders and duty are the lifeblood of the Brotherhood. Be vigilant, outsider. I gave you a job to do. Unless you're done, get to it.
好啦好啦，干真的很烂哎！你都不帮他们，不觉得帮他们对自己有好处吗？
Wonder if this will be enough to see if the raiders call.
建立信任。
This is a secure area. Treat it as such.
发明之母。
Each day in service of the Brotherhood is a step forward.
跟学士交谈。
Type that. If you're going to be Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here?
来给你们建议。
Did he now? Knowing Knight Shin, I'm guessing that's not exactly how it went down. But if you're a prospective initiate, then I guess we're both in luck.
No， 我只是想帮你们，我没有想加入。
call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it?
哪一种？
Our new base is littered with old technology, but there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup.
简单来讲，你打不过。
Well, aren't you the trusting one? I'm Brotherhood. I'll keep my promise. No need to worry about that.
好哟 ，Go Go。
We can come to an agreement. Any questions before we start?
有问题很多。
All right, fire away. Ideally, yes, actually. In practice, not at all. We're supposed to be the lore keepers, preserving old technology for the betterment of today. Instead, I spend all my time soldering wires on busted comms equipment or tightening screws on tracking scanners. This investigation will be a breath of fresh air. It's what being a scribe should be about.
Should be about.
Can I do it? Yes. But it's not my life's calling. Believe it or not, I didn't choose to be a scribe. I was born into it. My parents chose this life for me. I've gotten used to it, but it isn't mine.
那你要不要当圣骑士？
Knight Shin would throw a fit if he heard just how unprofessional I was now. We should get back to business. Sorry. Business only.
Business only.
Normally I would, but today you came along. We have a lot of capable initiates, but we could always use more. Handle yourself well, and I'll be happy to vouch for you.
简单来讲，我死了也无所谓就对了啦，干。
Not as a civilian. However, if Paladin Romani lets you join our ranks, then I might reconsider. Especially if you're a big help on this mission.
Fighting. The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand the past as well, or we'll make the same mistakes going forward. I'm never gonna make a name for myself holding down
Sure. Ready to go?
Ready to go. 好了，好 ，go go go。
Great. Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here. Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit.
干，你是不是要陷害我？贱人！
Don't mind this clutter. Atlas is a work in progress.
I can do more than just fight. But how do I show that I'm fit to be a scribe when I'm on patrol day and night?
当然，就是，那你们的那个骑士呢？骑士在哪里？
2,000 miles of hiking puts a real wear on it.
嗨，
Please do not touch anything without direct authorization from a Brotherhood.
你干，你的衣服好好看。
We could always use more initiates. Absolutely. We are here to help in any way that we can, civilian.
你的笑容好诡异。
Brotherhood of Steel are your saviors, civilian. We are the guardians of human civilization. We bring order to the wasteland, something that it desperately needs. First and foremost, our mission is to restore society and preserve any technology that will assist us in that goal. In addition, we are currently investigating what happened to the previous Brotherhood members from Fort Defiance. It is important that we establish a new foothold here, which will allow us to aid the people of Appalachia.
Appalachia.
Sorry, civilian. That information is classified. Yes, there was a unit here led by Paladin Taggarty. We lost contact with the group shortly before their mission to attack the Scorched, and we are unsure of their fate. Regardless of what may have occurred, their selfless courage is commendable. I'd love to answer any questions that you may have. My mission in life is to help others and restore order to the world. The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals, in addition to the preservation of technology. I will be on the forefront of rebuilding society. I'm glad you're inspired by our mission. In order to fully accomplish our goals and establish a foothold here in Appalachia, we need to build up our ranks. If you're interested in recruitment, you can speak. Sure. As the Paladin, I am the commander of this unit, and I'm here to establish a foothold for the Brotherhood of Steel. It is important that we restore society. And the steps that you have already made here in Appalachia are admirable. However, without the power of the Brotherhood, you will be unable to prevail. I am eager to lend that power. I suppose I can set...
死从天降，炸哪里？又是野人领。
Request for the Brotherhood should be passed through Night Shin.
12分钟前才炸野人领，现在又在炸野人领，到底是有多喜欢炸这里？既然没有女王，那我们就继续聊吧。
I suppose I could...
你是哪里人？
I'm originally from the California branch of the Brotherhood of Steel. Was posted near Mariposa before the bombs fell, and I learned that some members of the U.S. military had created an organization to help people. As a member of the U.S. military, joining up with the Brotherhood was a natural transition for me. I was in the National Guard. Helping those who are less fortunate has always been a passion of mine. Being able to help protect my community was an experience I'll never forget. But now, my mission is to protect you and the other people of Appalachia. Elder Roger Maxson is our leader back in California, and is the person who sent us on our mission to Appalachia. Sure. My mission in life is to help others The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned. The resources that the Brotherhood can provide. Sounds good. It's a beautiful land, and the people are resourceful. We will do everything we can to support them. All of us have taken the inoculation, but thank you for inquiring. It means a lot to me that the people of Appalachia care for the well-being of others.
都要打疫苗，不然你就会得肺炎。不是啊，福斯病。
They've done well to build such capable communities on the broken bones of the old world. Foundation is charming, and I admire their workmanship. The people of Crater may be more complicated, but I refuse to judge their group based on our past encounters with raiders.
事实上，大坑这种人不会主动
I'd
攻
like to
击啊。
build a lasting relationship with both of these settlements.
他们跟血鹰帮那些掠夺者比起来又好了一点。他们虽然智障的，但是还蛮讲理的。
Ah, did I slip up again? Old habits die hard. I hope you'll be patient with us Westerners as we learn the local vernacular. Certainly. I'm here to listen. Stay safe.
核弹炸这里是为了要挖矿吗？还是干炸了也没有人去捡东西啊？傻小了，妈的嘞！是说这里以前本来有一片东西耶。好吧。Go！ 阿特拉斯堡。哎，艾莉怎么来了？你真的会来啊
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Are you trying to get on my good side? Because that's how you get on my good side.
你的眼睛好大，好恶心哦。
I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up.
收集文件。你绝对无法想象我多爱绝缘胶带。你还好吗？你血那么厚，你在那边该。好了，文件。阅读阿特拉斯厨艺报告3，马克思中尉，77年8月23日。输入压力与压力测试。每次使用阿特拉斯装置都需输入大量冷却剂，以便维持机器运转。运转过程中，将冷却剂打入装置，恐对管线、帮浦和阀门上扩大压力。重复使用的测试也都各处显示破裂与损坏的迹象。另外，机器生产仓促也带来结构缺陷，高压可在输入点累积 若未修正将造成机器全毁。若确实依循设计规章，本能避免这几处缺失，但这样要掩盖这些疑虑，我在此必须强烈建议，未来进行计划时务必谨慎小心。谨慎小心，懂吗？谨慎小心。啊！不小心捡了白开水。
Here's a document.
我在。有一个。
Here's one. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial.
好感动哦。阿特拉斯厨艺报告2。 离子聚焦器，我们对于小型离子聚焦器进行实验，导致装置不太能承受启动时的强力回复。聚焦器虽我看这个字体真的很难看得懂。聚焦器虽撑过测验到往后使用前，应当考虑重新设计。感应线圈与离子聚焦器类似，都有同样的反应问题。重复使用会造成线圈的整体通率分布发生严重变化。往后任何测验前需考虑重新设计此装置。 因为有可能将线圈烧坏，替换零件将花费高额成本。核心处理单元韧体更新经过证实，能有效针对阿特拉斯运转功能的重要层面进行一律排解，但是执行必要指令将耗费大量处理能力，因此需要特制的 CPU， 使 CPU 是极大运转成本。此外，测试时程数事先是发生计算宕机，另外不能对长期稳定产生疑虑。哎呦，疑虑哦。 我现在就很有疑虑。最后一个，厨艺报告1：艾萨克·蒙汉博士到免职后，奥柏林中校指派我监督阿特拉斯计划中断的情况。这份报告将略述计划终止的情况。虽然最终上有些收获，计划的稳定仍旧有重大问题，需要额外投入大量人才，反正100%专制。 运转测试耗用许多主要元件的功能，其中包含小型离子聚焦器和主要感应线圈。此外，冷却技术帮补承受巨大压力，以及发挥想象就安全疑虑。好了，我们都拿到了。
Let's talk for a sec.
我们都拿到了。来 ，talking 吧。
That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this.
我比你早2年就知道了，好吗？
I guess you're right. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. I did ask you to help, after all. It's only fair you're prepared for what you might find. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure.
会爆炸。
Find the release valve for that and give it a spin. See what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookup? The diagnostics test can tell us the state of some key components that we won't be able to test manually. Keep an eye on the state of each component and we'll want to look into them after the initial check. The release valve is an emergency mechanism that can relieve pressure on the intake pipes if they come under stress. If all is well, we'll just be able to turn it and nothing out of the ordinary will happen.
那如果发生意外会怎么样？你有没有想过？
Think of the wires like the blood vessels of the machine. Without the electricity running through them, nothing's going to work. We just need to do a little checkup and see what condition they're in.
干，你不要唬我啊！我智力也有25啊，23。
Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details, and we'll discuss how it goes after.
不是，我觉得你当前哨在后面比较好哎。你知道你血很厚，而我攻击力很高，所以你去前面挡，我在后面帮你开枪，这样才是一个完美的组合啊！执行诊断检查 ，CPU 故障，侦测到破裂，未校准，侦测到通量扰动。好了，我们已经检查了。
Finally, real scribe work.
看来你对我的话完全没在听。检查泄气阀。哦，很好啊，我他妈爆炸抗性还算蛮高的。
We really need to get a team down here to get things cleaned up.
谢谢你让它爆炸。接下来是会被电。电上是我应该担心小型生物所为。你倒是，你倒是他妈的跑得很快欸。看，你魔鬼的步伐，摩擦摩擦摩擦摩擦。
All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues: flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus. Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went. Well, what was your assessment?
烂透了。
It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were...
全都镀铝，又上一层白金。
Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay. Well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well so far. Nobody does, outside of a classroom. That's why I love to evaluate new prospects this way. If I'm going to recommend you to Paladin Romani, I need to know you're serious. Can you pay attention? Think on your feet? If you can, you are in my favor. If you can't, then, well, maybe I reconsider my recommendation.
拜托你那么烂。
I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them, if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition.
你一定要维持这个姿势跟我讲话吗？我很容易。
I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started?
你的动作真的很奇葩欸。
You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or an anomaly. Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. Could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage.
干嘛？你在做深蹲哦？
I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do.
干又来了，魔鬼的步伐。我猜应该是走，干他真的是魔鬼的步伐哎！不行，我快受不了了。学士啊，你的动作一定要这么奇葩吗？离子聚焦器。 敏捷8将每根管子的电源线拔离。哇，我好怀念这里哦！以前都会来这边打机器人，现在都不能来了，干几掰。 这是什么？中央处理器。执行完整 CPU 移除协定。 这又是什么？压力计。
Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core?
可以啊，怎么会不行？感应线圈。 神秘元件。
That doesn't sound good.
Attention. This is now a combat zone. You may suffer harm up to 10, including if you're area. This notice is required by law.
干又是魔鬼的步伐。 慢慢捡东西，反正他也找不到我。
You could run. I'm trying to kill you, you know.
easy 啊。
Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of
干，就为了这个，我房间很多啊。
None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this?
厉害吧？
Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. I could do a lot with this. You were of big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it.
还原工程。
I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help. And good luck with the Paladin.
真相探寻者，双爆手枪，竟然是双爆手枪。实地测试。 应该是通到这里，所以我们真的不想帮那些人。
You should get that mutation treated.
Watch your step, it's a mess up here.
Before it becomes a real problem.
Have a question. The past has you? Well, you aren't an initiate yet, but I guess we can discuss it a bit, since you helped out and all. I'd like to reverse engineer it and make more, of course. With the amount of energy it can unleash, we could power all kinds of things for a very long time. Think of how far a vertibird could fly on ultrasight power.
干，那这样你们3代没有垂直飞行机，不是很奇怪的事吗？
No, I don't think so. As much as I'd love to, we're too short-handed, and I just don't have that kind. We'll have to make do with learning. Sure thing. What's the next step? Lucky for you, I know all of We're an order dedicated to the preservation of science and technology. We find and catalog knowledge from before the bombs and keep it... You could say that. You could also say we have no right to keep knowledge to ourselves. That everyone deserves to learn. I can see the argument, but I believe in our mission. Nobody else does what we do. If not... California, all the way across the continent. I've read that people used to fly that distance in a few hours, but the trek took us months. Maybe eventually we'll get flying again, but for now it's an arduous... We're here to help the people of Appalachia, and to catalog any technological discoveries we find. We set up Fort Atlas to that end. This old observatory has a wealth of technology. We also want to learn the fate of the old Appalachian chapter of our order. To be honest, that's what I expected to hear. I knew some of them from a distance, but the Council of Elders, chief among them, High Elder Maxon, our founder. He proclaimed our mission and set us on the path we follow today. Our expedition leader is Paladin Romani. She's an aggressive and daring commander who's taken us through many Okay, what do you want? Sure, what needs... We're the heart of the Brotherhood's mission to find, catalog, and preserve, though sometimes in practice, well, let's just say I spend a lot... We record things. Histories, schematics, we collect it all, compile it, and keep it. Our name harkens back to that ancient tradition, so that's why we use it. Well, first you'll have to... Then it depends on your aptitude. Not everyone has the mind or patience for scribe work. What? Sure, what do you...
来聊聊你的
California, though, truth be told, I've spent... My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young. Really? How rare. You'll have to let me... I have a lot to take care of while we get settled in here, but... I do. Scribes are critical to the work that comes my way can get tedious or overwhelming, but... We're a strong organization with a noble goal.
正义的一方。
Of course.
我要送你上路了。怎么不是这样？我要送你上路啦。
We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew.
I made it, Scribe Decano. I wish you were here too.
阿特拉斯微量酱油，他们想做一个控制天气的东西。
chain, bound in Brotherhood. Make a name for myself holding down the fort. When do I get to go out and prove my worth?
I want to visit Fort Defiance, but I'm not sure I can stand the sight.
"秘密行动。
Find, protect, and preserve.
I wonder what legacy I'll leave to the scrolls.
就是气候战就对了。
Scorched plague. seen nothing like it. I wonder if I could get my hands on a sample.
The old world has so much to teach us. Why didn't I see it before?
Too bad this observatory's so busted up. I'd love to look at the stars. Show that I'm fit to be a scribe when I'm put on patrol day and night.
Oh. Oh. 性歧视。
New recruits, night shins training, weapons, and a base like this. We're gonna be invincible. Fort Atlas is in good hands. Night shins trained us well.
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand the past as well.
Greetings, civilians.
Same mistakes going forward.
Ultrasite country. Who knows what strange contraptions the old mining firms built here?
Hope those kids we picked up are doing okay. What were their names again? Started with an M. We're building something big here. Don't get left behind.
高野学士。
I wonder what stories are hiding in the mountains out here.
好了，通话料。接下来是要干嘛？和拉玛黎彻骑士交谈，是不错啦，但我觉得应该记一个录。